Algeria. Algeria is often cited as a paradox of wealth, a land in the Arab world where gasoline is cheaper than drinking water. On the map, Algeria stretches as a vast territory in North Africa, resembling a heart between the desert and the Mediterranean Sea. You are standing on a country that possesses one of the planet's largest oil and gas reserves, where Algeria supplies energy to many European countries and holds a significant position in OPEC. Beneath the arid surface lie oil, gas, phosphates, iron, and uranium, creating a treasure trove of resources that many other nations can only dream of. Many of the southern desert regions also contain newly discovered deep gas fields in the last 2 decades, making Algeria a strategic source of supply during global energy crises. Algeria is also the only country in Africa with no foreign debt. The figure is recorded as 0, and in 2008, it paid off all its international debt ahead of schedule. On the surface, it's the image of a wealthy and powerful nation. However, the reality is quite different. The average income is only about $200 to $300 per month. Large mansions can be found next to makeshift housing, where people haggle over every loaf of bread while the country continues to export billions of dollars worth of energy. Part of the reason stems from an economy heavily reliant on oil and gas, while domestic manufacturing and service sectors develop slowly, creating a vast gap between national wealth and the quality of life for its people. But the paradox doesn't stop there. Algeria is among the world's 4 largest date exporters, with over 300 varieties grown across its oases. The famous Deglet Noor variety is known as the Queen of Dates because of its translucent golden color and distinctive flavor. For the locals, dates are not just agricultural products, but like drops of sweet gold growing on the tree. Algeria's annual date production reaches hundreds of thousands of tons, and many regions even hold harvest festivals as a traditional cultural practice. Yet, the majority of the population still struggles with economic hardship. The official unemployment rate is 12%, but in reality, many independent surveys estimate this figure could be significantly higher, especially among young people and in suburban areas. Looking at Algeria through a social lens reveals a picture of stark contrasts, where traditional and modern values coexist and sometimes clash intensely. Let's begin with Algerian women, as this is the most striking example of these contradictions. In major cities, you'll find many educated women wearing headscarves, carrying laptops, running their own businesses, and making completely independent decisions. But in rural areas, many women are only allowed to go out with the permission of their husbands or an older male family member. They must explain their destination, the reason for their travel, and sometimes need an escort. Some families even maintain traditional codes of conduct passed down through generations, making women's roles heavily dependent on the family structure. However, the real turning point lies in the south, where the Sahara meets the Tuareg community, where the familiar order seems to completely reverse. In Tuareg society, women are the queens of the desert. They live in a matriarchal system, where lineage is traced back to the mother. Women own property, choose their own partners, and have the right to end marriages at any time. In many Tuareg communities, men are the ones who wear veils, while women appear free and confident in public. Thus, within the same country, you can witness 3 different worlds for women: one where they are restricted, one where they are independent professionals, and one where they become symbols of desert power. There is another social paradox in Algeria that might surprise you. In Algeria, working too hard is sometimes not viewed positively. Instead of being seen as a sign of ambition, it can be interpreted as showing off and putting pressure on others. This stems from the socialist ideology of the past and traditional values that prioritize tranquility and a slow pace of life. Long breaks, extended lunches, and light-hearted conversations have become almost a cultural ritual. If such a cultural pattern existed in your country, would it be considered a balanced lifestyle or a sign of laziness? Comment number 1 if you think it's healthy, or number 2 if you think it's lazy. And if you want to understand the true thinking of an Algerian man, the answer isn't in the cafe, but in the hammam, the traditional steam bath. It's not just a place for bathing, but also a social space where important events take place, from marriage proposals to land deals. Men often come here early in the morning or late in the day, wrapped in towels and sitting in the steam room with temperatures exceeding 230 degrees Fahrenheit, approximately 104 degrees Celsius. If a man invites you to the hammam, it's like a welcome into his inner circle, a sign of deep trust and respect. Some of the oldest hammams are even considered local cultural heritage sites because they have been intertwined with community life for hundreds of years. Women also have their own hammam spaces with separate bathing times. In particular, women about to get married often participate in pre-wedding rituals with fragrant exfoliating steps and traditional blessings. Would you like to try a hammam? Leave a 3 in the comments below. If Algeria's economy is a man-made paradox, its geography represents a natural one. How can people live in a place where 90% of the land lies within the Sahara Desert? Daytime temperatures can reach 122 degrees around 50 Celsius, while at night they can drop to near freezing. For many, this seems like an insurmountable challenge. But for Algerians, especially the Tuareg and Berber communities, this is not a punishment from nature. This is the land where they find identity, connection, and a sense of freedom within this harsh environment. The secret to survival is not to confront the desert, but to learn to live in harmony with it. This philosophy has created unique cities that still exist today, astonishing anyone with their architectural thinking and adaptability. A prime example is the Mazab Valley, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In the 10th century, the Ibadis community built 5 cities here, with Gardaya playing a central role. This city resembles a natural sculpture of stone and clay, with houses arranged in a network of narrow alleys to provide shade. The light-colored walls reflect sunlight, and every architectural detail aims to maintain coolness and utilize natural breezes. Many experts consider Mazab a natural laboratory of traditional heat-resistant architecture. This is not just about building design, but about survival knowledge etched into the landscape. In other areas, the inhabitants created sawars, or fortified cities of mud brick. Inside them, the community lived together and was protected from the heat, sandstorms, and harsh winds. In some places, people build underground houses to control temperature naturally without needing modern technology. These types of spaces are now being studied as inspiration for sustainable architectural models in hot climates. For the Tuareg, the nomadic inhabitants of the Sahara, the desert is a symbol of freedom rather than a challenge to survival. They view political boundaries as merely symbolic lines. Money is not a measure of value. What they preserve are their livestock, the starry sky, and their wealth of knowledge about travel, wind, sand, and water. Their Tamashek language, traditional musical instruments, and nomadic poetry are preserved as part of their living heritage. By living isolated from urban life, they have protected their language and culture for centuries. The desert may take away many things, but it also offers irreplaceable lessons. It teaches people to cherish every drop of water, every patch of shade, and every human connection. In a world of sand and wind, material possessions fade into insignificance, while mental strength and resilience become the greatest values. Pakistan. Continuing our journey, we arrive in Pakistan, where you'll need to prepare to shatter any preconceived notions you may have. When you think of Pakistan, you might immediately picture news of war, terrorism, and strict regulations. However, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Pakistan is a country full of paradoxes and contradictions that will surprise you. Amidst some of the world's most treacherous mountain ranges, where the death rate for climbers is 1 in 4, you'll find the tallest ATM on the planet. It's the birthplace of one of the oldest civilizations, yet it's one of the youngest nations in the world. Pakistan is a nuclear power, but it also boasts one of the world's largest volunteer ambulance fleets. Let's explore homes where wild lions relax alongside their wealthy owners, and meet one of the world's most unique and exotic tribes. Nestled in the Hindu Kush Mountains, right on the border with Afghanistan, lies a unique community known as the Kalash. Today, only about 4,000 of them remain, and their beliefs are distinctly different from those of surrounding Muslim societies. The Kalash are considered the last guardians of ancient Asian spiritual beliefs. Legend says they are descendants of the warriors Alexander the Great, who settled in these valleys long ago. Their light skin, bright blue or brown eyes, and distinctive facial features add to the mystique surrounding their origins. Some recent studies also suggest they may be descendants of ancient Indo-European ethnic groups, further adding to the mystery of their ancestry. Kalash women are notable for their free-spirited lifestyle and traditions that often surprise outsiders. They wear intricately embroidered black robes and large headdresses adorned with seashells and beads. Kalash women also have the right to participate in important family and community decisions, which is a significant departure from the region's traditional cultural context. Another surprising element of Kalash culture is polyandry, where a woman may have multiple husbands to protect family property. During important times, such as menstruation or pregnancy, Kalash women retreat to a separate house called a bashali, where they rest and perform purification rituals. Today, the Kalash are considered a valuable cultural treasure, but they face the risk of being erased by globalization and the influence of Islam. From these ancient traditions, we move to a surprising modern trend among the Pakistani elite. In cities like Lahore and Karachi, some wealthy individuals keep wild lions as pets. Young millionaires spend $5,000, $10,000 on a lion cub, then walk them on leashes, transport them in supercars like Lamborghinis, and show them off on social media. For them, lions are not just animals, but symbols of power and status. However, Pakistani customs are not limited to extravagance. There are also powerful traditional rituals. For example, at village fairs, slapping competitions are still held, where men stand facing each other and slap until one falls or gives up. These competitions are not just games, but also a way to test the mental strength and resilience of the participants. One peculiar aspect of Pakistan will make you ponder probability theorems. There's a family in Pakistan where the father, mother, and 7 children all share the same birthday, August 1st. When a couple shares the same birthday, it might be a coincidence. But when their first child is also born on that day, it's already quite unusual. But when all 9 members of a family share the same birthday, it's truly a mathematical miracle that's difficult to explain. Here, visitors will experience an incredible warmth, a prominent characteristic of Pakistani culture known as mehman nawazi. For the locals, welcoming guests is a gift and a source of pride. Visitors may be invited to enjoy tea by the roadside or into a villager's home for a hearty meal. And remarkably, the host always politely refuses any payment. This is not simply a matter of courtesy, it reflects a deeply ingrained cultural principle. The compassion of the Pakistani people is expressed not only through words, but also through actions. Surprisingly, Pakistan has the world's largest network of volunteer ambulances, the Edhi Foundation. This foundation was founded by Abdul Sattar Edhi, a man known as Pakistan's Angel of Compassion. Thanks to the contributions of individuals and communities across the country, thousands of ambulances, shelters, and hospitals remain operational, serving millions of people regardless of religion, race, or background. This is part of the spirit of solidarity and compassion that the Pakistani people value. And have you ever wondered where the footballs in the World Cup come from? Approximately 70% of the world's hand-stitched footballs are produced in Sialkot, Pakistan. In this city, skilled workers meticulously stitch each piece of fabric to create the perfect ball for this globally beloved sport. Notably, in Sialkot, football manufacturers like Adidas and Nike collaborate with local factories to ensure the balls meet international quality standards, contributing to the success of major sporting events. Pakistan is situated in a unique location where nature not only displays breathtaking beauty but also presents formidable challenges. To the north, 3 colossal mountain ranges meet: the Himalayas, the Karakoram, and the Hindu Kush. This region is known as the roof of the world, home to 5 of the planet's 14 highest peaks. Among them, K2, also known as Chogori, ranks second in height but is considered the most dangerous. While Everest has become a familiar destination for wealthy adventurers, K2 remains a grueling test of human endurance. The risk of death here is very high, with approximately 1 in 4 climbers who reach the summit never returning. The most terrifying section is the bottleneck, where massive ice blocks can collapse without warning. Near K2 lies Nanga Parbat, nicknamed the Killer Mountain. Its rupal face, reaching nearly 4,600 meters, forms the tallest vertical mountain wall on Earth. Standing beneath it, you'll feel the insignificance of humanity in the face of majestic nature. Reaching these places is no easy feat. The Karakoram Highway, sometimes called the 8th wonder of the world, is the highest international road ever built, crossing the Kunjarab Pass at an altitude of 4,133 meters. Completion of this project took 2 decades, and over 1,000 workers died during its construction. Another record is held on this road, the world's tallest ATM, located at 4,623 meters above sea level. To the south, along the Arabian Sea, the port of Gwadar has emerged as one of the world's largest deep-water ports and is a vital part of the modern Silk Road. With the rapid development of its port, Gwadar is gradually becoming a strategic commercial center, boosting global trade and creating development opportunities for Pakistan. Between the sea and the mountains lies the mysterious Thar Desert, a land of forbidden zones, military presence, forgotten villages, and stories of lost cities buried beneath the sand. This desert also harbors valuable natural resources, creating both opportunities and significant challenges for Pakistan. The Himalayas, the Karakoram Range, the Hindu Kush, K2, Nanga Parbat, the Karakoram Highway, Gwadar, the Thar Desert, all combine to create a vivid picture of Pakistan, a country of contrasts, full of danger, resilience, and mystery. Tunisia. Let's explore Tunisia together and prepare yourself for some surprises. Tunisia is often cited as the most progressive Muslim country, and indeed it stands out in many ways. Women here have achieved significant rights even before Switzerland, a proud achievement. In particular, ostentatious displays of wealth, such as driving a Lamborghini, are not welcomed, as people believe true wealth comes from the land and trees. This is the country where vast deserts became the famous backdrop in the Star Wars films, where doorways are painted blue not just for decoration, but also to ward off bad luck and welcome good fortune. Tunisia is a secular country where religion and law are clearly separated, and women are not required to wear headscarves. Life here is slow-paced, unhurried. The principle of life is simple. Everything happens gradually, one step at a time. Amidst pristine white sand beaches and the ancient ruins of Carthage, you'll find a people who truly know how to enjoy the sunshine, freedom, and the beauty of a simple life. With its perfect blend of tradition and modernity, Tunisia is an ideal destination for those seeking tranquility amidst stunning natural beauty and a diverse culture. When discussing women's rights in the Arab world, many often think of restrictions and constraints. However, Tunisia has completely broken those stereotypes. Tunisian women gained the right to vote and run for parliament in 1957. Compare this to Switzerland, considered a center of progressive Europe, where women only achieved full suffrage in 1971, 14 years later than Tunisia. This is clear evidence of the difference in progress on women's rights between regions, especially in the Islamic world. This was no accident. It was a revolutionary, deliberate decision by Tunisia's founding father, President Habib Bourguiba. Just 1 year after gaining independence from France in 1956, Bourguiba introduced the Marriage and Family Code, a groundbreaking law that remains one of the most progressive in the region to this day. This law was revolutionary not only because of its direct impact on women, but also because it reshaped the entire family and social structure of Tunisia. It abolished polygamy, introduced civil divorce, stipulated a minimum marriage age, and granted women equal rights in education and employment. Notably, wearing a headscarf was never mandatory. Today, you can see Tunisian women, with or without headscarves, walking through the cities without attracting much attention. Today, Tunisian women are among the most educated and free women in the Arab world. They work in every field, from doctors and judges to pilots and government ministers. Tunisian women are also increasingly playing a significant role in technology, science, and business, contributing positively to the country's development. Progressive thinking and a focus on human development have shaped modern Tunisia. This country is not only a model for women's rights, but also a shining example of inclusion and innovation in the Arab world. If you think Tunisian women are ideal role models, leave a 4 in the comments below. Forget the oil towers of the Persian Gulf. In Tunisia, true wealth doesn't lie deep underground, but rises to the sky, and has existed for thousands of years. It's the olive trees. With over 50 million olive trees, Tunisia is the largest olive grower in North Africa and one of the world's leading producers. Some of these olive trees date back to the Roman Empire, witnessing the vicissitudes of history. Today, Tunisia ranks among the top 4 olive oil exporters in the world, supplying approximately 10% of global olive oil production. With vast olive groves stretching from the mountains to the coast, the land in Tunisia not only provides income, but also serves as an endless source of inspiration for generations of its people. In Tunisia, olive oil is not simply an industry, but a symbol of national identity and heritage. The people here regard olive oil as the essence of the land, the lifeblood that has nourished the community for generations. Owning a large olive grove inherited from ancestors is a greater honor than owning an expensive sports car. The land and trees here hold value not only materially, but also socially, a testament to the family's connection to history and tradition. The olive harvest is a special and important family event, where grandparents, parents, and children gather in the grove to work together. Throughout the harvest season, families also often hold small festivals and parties, where everyone shares joy, reconnects, and shows respect for nature. It is a sacred union between people and the land, a promise of prosperity, wealth, and good fortune for the new year. Upon arriving in Tunisia, the first thing that will impress you is the color blue. In the town of Sidi Bou Said, you'll find that every door, window, and railing is painted a striking sky blue against a pristine white wall. This blue isn't just a design choice, it's a deeply ingrained belief of the locals. Blue is thought to protect families from evil spirits and bring good luck, stemming from a long-standing spiritual tradition. Therefore, it's no surprise that the houses in Sidi Bou Said all retain this distinctive blue color. Sidi Bou Said is like a living open-air museum, where everything from faith and art to history blends together perfectly. As you travel south, the landscape completely changes. The tranquil Mediterranean coast gives way to the wild, majestic deserts of the Sahara. Near the town of Matmata, the Berber cave dwellings, carved deep into the rock, served as the backdrop for Luke Skywalker's home in Star Wars. These underground dwellings are not just props, they are marvels of architecture, cleverly designed to adapt to the harsh desert climate. Cool during the day and warm at night, they protect inhabitants from the sweltering summer heat and provide warmth during the cold winter. It's a perfect blend of nature and sustainable survival. Just a few kilometers from the capital Tunis lies Carthage, one of the greatest naval powers of the ancient world. Its ruins and mosaics still whisper stories of the greatness of ancient empires. Carthage is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a symbol of the power and prosperity of ancient civilization. Further inland lies the Roman amphitheater of El Gem, once the site of gladiatorial contests. It was the third largest Roman amphitheater in the world. Today, it is not only a historical monument, but also a venue for large-scale concerts. Concerts at El Gem attract thousands of visitors each year, where the sounds of modernity resonate amidst ancient stone walls. This is Tunisia, a country where blue doors protect homes, olive trees bring prosperity to families, the desert becomes the magnificent backdrop for Hollywood, and history lives on in every stone. So, we've explored 3 countries full of mystery and contrast. Algeria, where wealth and pristine nature intertwine. Tunisia, with its blend of ancient heritage and remarkable progress in women's rights. And Pakistan, where majestic natural beauty and unique traditions remain an endless source of inspiration. These 3 countries are not just destinations, but living stories of people, culture, and resilience over time. Please leave your thoughts on these 3 countries in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to continue joining us on our upcoming adventures. Thank you for watching.